Okay, so here you can see, this is my old leader hose. It's been damaged. I've used rescue tape to get it through the rest of last year. I decided to go ahead and replace it this year. It leaks all over the place. And so I have this old hose right here. I already did this end right here, attached it. I'll show you how to make this. People don't realize that instead of spending so much money at the store for just a leader hose, you can make one of your own just by getting these little female and male adapter sets. Okay, so what I did was I ran it to the length that I want it, and I'm gonna mark right about where I want it to be, which I'm gonna give myself a little extra room, and I'll probably cut it right here before this little perma kink right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my scissors, they're rough scissors, and I'm gonna cut clean through the hose. Okay, clean through. So you got this nice straight edge right here, and I'm actually gonna make one almost the same length because I have this little drip edge, soaker hose that I'm gonna put in my landscape bed throughout and around the side of the house. So I'm gonna make another hose and run it the same length and cut it, and then I'll show you how to put the ends on. Guys, you can stop my hand from shaking here. I've got two hoses, almost a similar length. This one's the one I started out with. This is for my hose reel box, okay? This is gonna be my leader hose for it. You can tell on this side of it, the other one is gonna be for my soaker hose. I'm gonna have a splitter at the faucet. So this is called a female adapter, a female mender is what it's called. And so I'm going to show you how to attach these puppies. So I put my female end on that side. I'm going to put my male end on this side. Okay. Okay. So this is what a male end looks like. Get your female end. This is what a female end looks like. It's got the little part that goes over the hose when you screw it into. This one is the part that, can't stop shaking, screws into it, okay, when you hook the hoses together. So you'll see it's got this little rib part. This is the part you're going to stick inside of the hose, okay? This, you're going to take this apart. So I did my female end on that end, and I'm going to put my male end on this end. Okay, so let's get to it. What you do, I've taken this off the little thing. You're going to take this part and slide it right over your hose, okay? That's going to go on the outside of your hose. This part, you're going to slide right in. Now, you could probably use some sort of lubricant, soap or something to make it go in easier. I'm too lazy to go get that. So I just twist and push until it's in there real good. Okay? Now, this end doesn't need a gasket. This end doesn't need a gasket. So what I'm gonna do is pull this back up over where that metal part goes into about right here, you can see. I'm just going to screw this until it closes tight. It's not wanting to screw. There we go. Just had to get it on there, get it started. So I'm just gonna screw this. Now I don't want it completely up against the tip of that. I do want the hose up against the tip of that, but I don't want this completely up against the tip of that. I want it probably right about there. You got plenty of room there on either side. Good grief. So you can see it's tightening as I go. This should take way less time, but I'm trying to hold the camera and screw this in at the same time. You want it on straight and flat. I'm gonna tighten it as tight as you can get it. This might be easier. Okay, so as tight as it's gonna get it. Got myself a new leader hose. Simple and easy. I'll show you how I do the female end next, because I actually put this on the other hose. Not paying attention, am I? So I got the male end on that side. I'm gonna put the female end on this side. All hoses are like that. Female end is the same way, okay? Open it up. Get all these, that's actually the gasket. You're gonna need this, so don't lose it, okay? Take all this off. This on first. And take this. Shove it in there. Now I had to find a good section of hose because I had quite a bit of kinks. This one you can tell it kind of kinks right there, but it's going to be all right for what I need it for. It'll be quite a few years probably before it messes up again. Now these, you can slide these right over so they don't get in the way. And the last one of these, because you don't have something to grip, what I do is I get my little vice grips out. Helps get a grip on it. And I just keep twisting and pushing until it's in there, okay? Then you slide your female end over this. Now this will fall back and forth, but that's where you take this gasket and you put it in, and it's got these little knots right here that are gonna go over these threads and hold it in place, or into the threads and hold it in place for you, and then it won't go back and forth like that, okay? Same situation here. I'm gonna tighten this thing up. Make sure it's flat and straight before you get it all the way tight. All the way tight. Okay, so there you have it. This is my old leader hose again. It's got all these rescue tape around it, okay? These are actually ones that were made before. And so what I'm gonna do is I have to make one more hose. I'm gonna take the adapters, the menders as they call them, off of this hose and use it for my last big hose to put on the other side of my steps to make my last leader hose. So these are reusable. Now that hose that I cut up came with one like this, okay? That's permanently fixed on there. You can't take it off. You can't reuse it. Even the seal's cracked on it. So it's actually no good at all. If you have a hose that is just leaking right here and there's nothing else wrong with it, look at that little gasket in there. Look for these cracks. Look for them. Once they get so hard, they're really not worth anything. And these are even cheaper to replace. You can buy a packet of them for like $1 or something at Walmart, and you got a brand new hose. It won't leak anymore. So that's usually the #1 reason hoses go bad. A lot of people don't know that, and so they just toss out the whole entire hose. And it's a perfectly good hose. The tip is when you use these, reuse these, you want to check these things too and make sure that they don't need a new one. This one's kind of ate up, but it's still soft, so it might work. Whenever you use an old hose though, I always recommend plug it in, run some water through it, find the leaks, make sure where they do kink that there's no leaks, and that way you're not wasting your time. Although it's only a few minutes, you're not wasting your time making a hose only to find out it leaks.